Good day everyone, welcome back to the Oak Island Research channel for a new video today. We're going to talk about a phantom island, and that's going to be exciting, I think. The phantom island link with Oak Island. In a former video called Lancelot and the Puffin, I noticed something about that white little dog that was popping up in several of the miniatures. This first one was the one we used describing the incredible journey video, where we see the duration, length, and by the way, since we're here, I think I figured out something there. I'm gonna make a digression from what I wanted to tell you originally, but I was puzzled about those, right? And those little shapes that vary. You have those, how can I call them, crosses, 3 crosses on the left, 3 crosses on the right, but the one in the middle are not crosses, they are vertical. And while I was thinking about the video named, or soon to be video about the project management one I did with one of the subscriber of the channel, I was wondering what this was about, and we calculated the possible duration on the island to build everything based on a lot of assumption of a bill of material, things to bring from Europe, number of people involved, scope of the works, and things like that. But roughly we were around 2, 3, 4 months. It was not about years, it was not about weeks. And then the other day I was thinking this could be month with that shape, and this could be weeks. And when I thought about it, this could be number of months necessary for whatever was to be hidden to make it from its original deposition place where it was kept all the way to Europe, to the probably France or north of France, Belgium, from what the picture tells us here. And then followed the Puffin way, 4 weeks at sea, plus stopovers. When we calculated distances, and based on the average speed of the ships at the time, we didn't take into consideration stopovers on islands for replenish or anything. And this could be it. This could be 4 weeks, 1 stop probably in Iceland, and 3.5 weeks, which corroborates the duration to Oak Island from the last stop that could be Iceland. So I was thinking this could be an indication that they stayed on the island 3 months. And it took 3 months for the thing to cross Europe from probably Acre, St. John of Acres, I guess. I don't know. And that's the time at sea here. So that was something I paid attention to the other day, and that's my hypothesis about those shapes. But anyways, let's go back to the little dog. So the white little dog appears in this picture, in that miniature, and it's not the same dog, obviously. And I have not worked out on this right-hand side dog yet, but I've got ideas about what it could mean. And I had this one in the middle, and this one is very different because it's got stains. I don't know how you call them, color marks, black color marks of certain shapes. And at the time of Lancelot of the Puffin video, I thought I could see, when I was using the pen here, something that looked like Greenland, and I could recognize it, and I worked much more on it since. What's very interesting is this incurve here, doing that little shape that you really can see in Greenland right here. Other thing is that coastline, which is depicted here, and there's a little return here that you can see here. But I could twist and bend that picture a little bit, I guess, to be more correct. The question I have is, if we do that and move it a little bit, I mean, I'm looking at Google Earth from a certain angle, and they drew it from their angle and from their knowledge of what was there. But anyways, it was not convincing at the time. This looked okay, that part here. This doesn't, because as we can see, the coast is not going that way out into the ocean. But is it what they thought it was? Was it like this at the time? I don't know. What's very interesting also is this area here that matches very well. and the bay and the back of the bay is drawn by the shape of the dog overall. So it's the same curve. So I liked it a lot, but I thought that's not sufficient, especially because of this. What is this? This is definitely on the dog, but it doesn't relate to anything we know of. And it's not an island, and there's no island there, and we know that for ages, right? But again, the back of the bay and the shape of Greenland here, and this one, which matched very well. So I revisited this, and this is what I found, to my great surprise, that maybe there was an island there that we forgot about. I don't know if you're aware of the voyages of the Xenobrother. So the Xenobrother, look at the date, 1326, 1402. Remember, Rochefoucauld Grail was elaborated, constructed around 1350. So they were 20 years old when the Rochefoucauld Grail was created. Italian nobleman from the Republic of Venice published map and letters. I read the full story. It's a crazy story. The map was rediscovered in the 1600s after being torn apart by kids who was doing a tantrum and decided to cut with scissors that map, and they reconstructed it. A lot of people saying it's fake. It's a fake map. The Xenobrother also wrote a letter, that comes later, sorry, and they describe the meeting with the Prince Zimke, and some historians think that this is just Henri Sinclair, as you can read here. A lot of historians don't believe it. They don't believe it because they claim that the Xenobrother made a hoax fake map. We heard about that before. And Venice used or wanted to use it for claiming part of the USA, since they could claim they discovered it before anybody. So I don't know. Personally, I understand where the hoax could come from. I understand what the historians say, but they're not categoric either. And we're going to see together there might be another reality to this. And why is it important to us? Because one of the main arguments that say, no, the Xenobrother never met Henri Sinclair, and Henri Sinclair never made it to Nova Scotia, is because the Xenomap is a hoax. And let's have a look. That's the Xenomap, as it was in 1450 or 1420. And you can see here Greenland. That's Greenland. So it's on the side, and of course they didn't have GPS and satellite, so they had what they could do. They could. Norway is here, Norway. Probably the Orkneys Island, where Sinclair was from. That would be the tip of Great Britain, the northern tip. And here you have an island that doesn't exist anymore, or that never existed, called Frisland. Interesting. So the Xenobrother report about a voyage they made where they met a Prince Zikmi, who probably was or was not Henri Sinclair, and spent a couple of years with him, met fishermen who claimed that they had been one full year on a big land on the west side of the ocean, and Sinclair joined them, and a whole story. I'm not going to tell the story now, you can read it easily. But the idea is, does this island exist? Because if it exists, it gives credibility to the Xenobrother's letters telling about the voyage, a bit like A Year to Remember. But it was the voyage of Henri Sinclair, probably, according to what we can think, maybe around Oak Island. So if this island exists, it gives credibility. Can this island exist, or is it a total hoax? I reproduce here again, the best I could, that shape of the little white dog with the color marks, trying to align it on Greenland. And Frisland falls more or less where it should be, where that second color mark that I didn't know what to do with, that would be more or less positioned around Frisland. So I start to think, that's interesting now. Could it be, is it possible that an island that was known in the 1300, 1400, up to 1500s disappeared? Has it ever existed? And I started to look for other cases, and there are indeed around the planet things they call phantom islands, ghost islands. And those ghost islands appear or disappear according to cracks under the ocean. The ocean bottom layer moves and drags pieces of land with it. It does happen. There's the tectonic movement of plates, of slates under the earth. So why not? So let's have a look that direction then. On the left-hand side, this is Frisland as depicted by the Xenobrothers. And a lot of very famous cartographers reproduced it for hundreds of years, such as Ptolemy Alexandrini or even Mercator, that we know now for his famous map, the one we use every day almost. And that's very interesting to see some very famous cartographers did reproduce that island that was claimed to be a hoax. And you would think they would know better. So maybe the island did exist. And you can see the shape of the island. It's basically a rectangle, and it's got 3 triangle shape on the coast here. And that's going to be important for later. So this is all about the letters that tell the story. I'll let you read. You can pause the video. I'm not going to go through it. And what I'm going to go through, though, is some websites that are looking in that direction, that the island did exist indeed and moved out. And Scott.net got 2 articles about potential the Frisland island, and he's comparing the Xenomap in red, for instance, with the shape exactly of Greenland, and he finds it pretty accurate. And what's interesting here, there's a simulation of the evolution of the bottom of the ocean with the stars. You can see, it's very hard to see, but to detect, but here we have Greenland on top, and we have Spain here and France. I can zoom in, maybe. No, it's not better. But yeah, they depict that the ocean could be moving from west to east. And there is that, and simulating that this island nowadays would be not far from Ireland. And indeed, they look near Ireland with a bathymetric consideration, and this is the bathymetric map of the Rochefoucauld and Ellen's Reef, which is next to Ireland now, and it seems to be there's an elevation there. There's something that is not at the same elevation than the ocean floor, and those people believe it could be what's left of Frisland after it sank and went eastward, being dragged by the continental slate. Very interesting. So that's what I wanted to say about the Phantom Island, the ghost island of Frisland. And maybe what we see here on the Rochefoucauld Grail corroborates the idea that this island did exist. The shape is similar from what they drew. They drew everything with an angle. There's a perspective. There's an angle when compared to Google Earth. There's some pieces missing, indeed. But could it be a clue that this island did exist? The Xeno journey voyage is real, and they did it with Henri Sinclair on his way to Nova Scotia. I don't know. We'll see if we can find more hints. Thank you very much for watching. Everybody takes care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.